Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file, and they were originally asking how to find leaks, but they've already done all this. She's going to get this house ready for engraving. I've taken out the other house on that side. The telephone's gone, telephone pole's gone. The trees are kind of uh, pretty done pretty well. First, before I start anything, I'm going to change your pen tool to a hairline. So I double clicked on the pen tool and I'm going to make it a hairline. It's a lot easier drawing a hairline. You can see a lot more. I'm going to select all that. See, we have a bunch of different lines because there's no line mentioned. So I'm going to make everything a hairline. And now we're going to start getting a red of some of this other house. And don't worry, take the virtual segment delete key and don't worry about if we delete some of the yellow of the real house. And this take, say like right there, I'm going to redo that line anyway. It needs to be a straight line. I'm going to go up here and delete that. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. It's going to mess it up a little bit, but I don't think you've got any leaks, so I'm not worried about it. When I start doing it, I will. And see, when those lines don't delete, it's going to really cause you a problem. Just go around the house and then you can go straight down and delete all that. Delete all that. So anything the virtual segment delete key uh, hits, it's going to delete it. So we're going to go down to this bush, and you could get rid of that bush too. Um, but for right now, we're going to leave it, and you could do the same thing. What I'm doing with the house, you could make the bush disappear. I think it's going to add to it a little bit. Don't do that. See, I went over anything the virtual segment delete key is going to hit, it is going to delete. So now go back and just kind of fine tune it. You know, this is part of the other house. Don't worry about too much about making things disappear. Um, so you don't worry about that because we can fix that. We can don't have to take this out, but I am. And then I'm going to go here, and you're fixing to find out why I wanted, and that doesn't really hurt us, because I'm gonna fill that back in. So I just need to get rid of all these lines, and a lot of times you don't have to get rid of all the lines because the Smart Fill tool will, when we do the Smart Fill tool in just a minute, it'll kind of solve that problem. We're almost there. A few more little tidbits of lines. Go ahead and delete that line. And then what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to delete, see if I can delete this line. And you can also, when you're doing this, and that, don't worry about that. That doesn't affect us. This is not going to really affect us. Don't have to remove it all because we're only going to use the outside. So I've got one more little spot right there. And I am now going to take my 2-point line, and this is why I'm going to kind of go to there, make it about even, and then we need to stop the house from leaking. So I'm going to bring that over to there, and we can fix all this stuff in a minute. I'm going to go back and look at the original picture, so that overhang kind of comes straight down. You know, sometimes you got to go back. So we need to get down to that window. So I'm going to take the 2-point line, and I'm just going to kind of make an imaginary line there. Then I can go ahead and delete all this. That looks pretty good. Now, we shouldn't have any leaks, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rectangle, and I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool on a different color, and that's what we got. I don't have to worry about that white inside. Now we got the shape of the house. I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool again, and I'm going to use a separate color this time just so I can see the difference. And then I'm going to move that over to the original house, and you can see the telephone pole's gone, or will be in just a second. And take this and select everything and go up to intersect. And what that did, that intersected that house out. I would still keep nudging in case you have to do something. That's pretty good. The bush is a little rough. I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and just touch it. And you can see it. You don't have to worry about the lines. And, part of the house is a little off. Take the shape tool, probably is the best, and delete that node. Let's delete that node. So just keep your finger on the delete key, and then turn these both into a line by right clicking. And it's going to give you a straight line. Same thing here. I'd go around the entire house and look at some of that. Looks pretty good. That's a little bit funky right there. Just delete these two nodes, because every little detail is going to show up. Like right there, that's not originally part of the roof. We could go here. Probably the easiest thing is just to bring that down, maybe even delete that line. Can't do that. Let's right click and turn these both into a line. And then we could move this one back. Unclick it so it just grabs one. That doesn't look too bad. That kind of looks like a gutter. That the ripple effect, take away your interior ones, select your exterior two, right click and turn them into a line. That looks pretty good. And some of this roof is going to have a little bit of a slope because it's looks like that. As long as you don't have any bumps, I maybe take out that one. And just go over the entire house. Anywhere where you can delete nodes, you're going to get a crisper line. So I would delete all these nodes, even delete that node, and that node. And then I would select that one and shift select that one, right click and turn it into a line. See how much better it looks? Get rid of those two nodes maybe. Go around the entire house. This bush looks a little funny. X7 or above, you've got the smoothing tool. Just kind of make that bush or tree a little bit more. And I think, let's look at the peaks. I think they look good. I'd maybe get rid of that. Go back to your shape tool and delete that node and just see what happens. Looks good. I'd just go over the entire house and try to make the parts of the house that need to be flat, like what's going on there. Don't really know, so delete it. Maybe select that node and hold down the shift and select that node and right click and turn it into a line. It'll make it look a lot better. Then, run it through your whatever processor you're going to use for it. You can always try to go to bitmap mode and turn it into a grayscale. Sometimes stuff like that's going to engrave, surprisingly, just like that. You might, because the darker is going to engrave dark. So I would try that. Anyway, hope that was what you were looking for, and thank you for watching.